With a shorter fuse than a drunken real-world cast member, I'm Matt Straq. This is That Sports Show. Alright, this was the week that the bosses lowered their jackboots just a bit further down onto our collective necks. You see, just as Jennifer Garner owes her success to collagen injections, the expansion of That Sports Show has been predicated on the Herculean behind-the-scenes efforts of the Hudson Street media team. They've invested plenty in the success of the show, and they've begun to grow impatient. We've been told that the TSS staff needs to do one of two things: begin dating a celebrity or develop a marketing plan. And now that Dakota Fanning's temporary restraining order has been made permanent, we're testing out the second option. We even commissioned a highfalutin study from an outside consultancy, or opened a tab at a Hooters in White Plains. We don't remember exactly which it was. Regardless, the team of experts who happily cashed our checks gave us just one viable recommendation: Twitter. Because the TSS staffers have the collective tech proficiency of a golden retriever gnawing on a remote control, we had to do a little research on the service. It turns out that Twitter lets users post updates and links in real time, as long as messages come in under 140 characters. Then, as usual, we quickly forgot about our original assignment when we noticed a surprising amount of professional and retired athletes are using the service. Everyone from Terrell Owens and Chad Johnson to Annika Sorenstam and Danica Patrick are on there, delivering riveting updates like, "You know your boy's so hood" from Ron Artest of the Houston Rockets, or "Mall Cop's got good mojo in it. This Kevin James is funny" from Barry Zito of the San Francisco Giants. Ah, Zito, you movie lover, you. Shaq even took the time to extol Twitter's virtues to a reporter who was hounding him in a parking lot.
Just, get some people a chance to see,
Where are you going to be today?
I ain't gonna tell you.
People got to follow you?
Yeah, they gotta follow me.
Good Lord, look at that truck. When they do a pie chart showing the causes of global warming, is there one slice that just says Shaq? But all this twittering got us thinking, what does the service mean for sports journalism and the way athletes interact with fans? Well, because Twitter allows athletes to deliver messages to fans directly, many entrenched sports writers have reacted something like this. This is because, as noted by a friend of the show and funniest sports writer around, Bill Simmons, in an ESPN The Magazine article, Twitter means that athletes don't need a middleman anymore. In the old days, sports stars had to go through reporters to remind fans that they were likable or hardworking, or that they had swapped entire families with a teammate in 1972. Simmons finishes up his article by saying that athletes' abilities to skip the sports reporter isn't good or bad, and he's probably right. But the one thing about athletes and Twitter that we can say with certainty is definitely a bad thing isn't just restricted to the sports world. It extends across the entire service, and it goes like this. Just like you don't need to know that your emo cousin just listened to Coheed and Cambria's new album for the 15th time, you don't need to know that Jack McClinton, the Spurs shooting guard, is at some shopping center called Quaker something, or that Nicole Hage, the pro golfer, has hair that feels like a feather. As with all things internet, the problem is one of separating the wheat from the chaff, which in the case of Twitter would take slightly less time than convincing advertisers that the WNBA has a huge and diverse fan base. That's it for another episode of That Sports Show. As usual, be sure to visit us at thatsportshow.com to zap us YouTube links to recut Aaron Andrews' videos. Until then, I'm Matt Straq. We'll see you next time.